awesome premise that they totally didn't have to do, but they did. They went hard on it. Stepping into parenthood is SpongeBob and Patrick, who've taken a baby clam and took a killer. SpongeBob is great as a backbreakingly hard-working stay-at-home mother figure, partnered with a lazy and neglectful father figure. It's a hilarious conflict and a welcome one.
Be assertive, not insertive.
I think the iconic factor isn't the highest here, but man, the humor is. I think this is one of the best points. The Plankton versus SpongeBob dynamic here is awesome. We aren't the Krusty Krab. There's no Mr. Krabs or Squidward around here, so they're not going to entertain. Plankton gets to interact directly with SpongeBob, and so he takes advantage of his kindness. He even convinces SpongeBob to join the dark side for a week.
You all see.
Lives rent free in my head and has my. So I don't know what that says about it. This episode was really, really enjoyable. I think the jokes are just consistent and spot on. It's probably the least iconic and recognizable of the A tiers, and I'm fine with that. I really think it just shines on the humor and pacing alone.
No, it's not.
Forget it. I guess you don't have what it takes to be a stand-up guy.
Fresh baked cookie. Story time. A sweater with.
Oh, Grandma's cookies. Oh, I like that one.
Example of people being mean and people being dicks without going too far.
I gotta say though, the Grandma's cookies. Even though I'm not that close to my grandmother, though, I think that has to be one of my favorite episodes because. And by the way, for anyone that's seeing this, please bear with me, okay? The reason why I upload so much is that I'm poor. I can't afford a decent MacBook. Yes, I know I upload a lot. That's what happens when you're poor. I hope you understand that. It's not my mistake. If I decided to be poor, you might as well just tell me I decided to be depressed and cut my wrist. You think that's fun to cut my wrist? No. I know not everyone's here, but I gotta keep going. I can't wait 20 minutes each time. I'm sorry. I don't have that luxury like everyone does. I don't. Otherwise, I don't know. Anyway, what I really find really messed up about this episode, right? I want to explain this because Steven Hillenburg is a genius, right? And yeah, you're dreaming about hanging there. Oh, what I love about this episode is that a ton of people thinking that if a man, well, it could be a woman, but I know for a man especially, and this is why we got so many serial shooters, so many predators out there, right? Whatever, okay? Or just homophobes or something. You know, people wonder why this stuff gets encouraged. Even I almost fell into that trap to do it to someone because of what society told me. Like, oh, if I got a hit to a woman saying something inappropriate, I don't think I did. But oh god, I'm glad my high school era is over. God, I didn't like it. Okay, I did not like it. I'm glad I'm out of it. I don't want to go back. That's a good thing. Um, you got all of these people, right? That would laugh at SpongeBob because he got a kiss from his grandmother. I don't know why though, but Steven Hillenburg is such a genius for this because I guess having love with your grandmother is considered on manly, right? And thank you, hon. I mean, that's sweet of you to say that, Amelia. And thank you, Doug. Honestly, and I just think the writing of this is just so unique. And no wonder a lot of people using AI and Chat GPT, whatever the heck you call it, right? And by the way, YouTube, I wish you could basically fix. I'm not sure it's my MacBook, okay? It irritates me when I only see like 2 or 3 viewers and no likers. I don't know why you can't fix that. Anyway, it's such a well-written episode. It really is. And how Foster says he doesn't want to grow up. I want to bake cookies and wearing my mother's sweater. I forgot what it was, right? I haven't seen this episode in eons. It is so good, especially if you're in the spectrum, because being autistic, even though there's some awful autistic people out there, okay? Luckily, it's only a handful. Daniel Larson, Ian Russell, for example, you know, I hope that he did change his ways. And then Buddha forbid, Chris Chan. Oh my goodness. I don't know why he even has that name. And it just it really goes to show you that why SpongeBob is such a great icon for people that are in the spectrum that are male. You know, it's really good. And not to mention, if you are a spade, similar to me, it actually makes sense.
I mean, these guys are weird as hell for following him home to his grandma's house and staring outside the window. Like, these are fucking weirdos.
They are weirdos.
Like Squidward and SpongeBob and Cool. There's a lot of really, really funny moments with Patrick here. I think the grandma is goaded, as grandmas tend to be the ideal grandma. The way this episode bridges a gap between childhood and adulthood, really interesting and warm-hearted, as most of OG SpongeBob is. And I honestly think symbolically, this is such a beautiful resolution. Both the sideburns and the cookie, perhaps both stability and with the childlike imagination and freedom and sense of play, and the adult structure and stability and meaning. Grandma's Kisses ranked 42.
Oh, procrastination. Yeah.
Episode. This got ranked 100 on the kids list.
100. What are these kids smoking? Weed?
This is a great concept and execution.
I think the map put something up because I don't see anyone commenting in. All right, never mind. I see Joseph's. As an autistic person, SpongeBob is an icon for. Oh yes, absolutely, Joseph. I think that's why we remember these lines so well. What is Stephen Hilbert doing?
So this got.
Why at 100? Bossy Boots, okay. Still, these should be higher though. Sailor Mouth, oh, Sailor Mouth should be way higher than that. Scuba Damn Friendly Ghost, way higher. Welcome to the Chum Bucket, way higher. Clams and Hall Monitor, way higher. What's what? Why these so low?
100 on the kids list. This is one of those episodes that was like 5 as a kid and only weighs more.
Yeah, I can see the comments. Well, barely lowering. This sucks. We can't do anything about it. So I mean, I don't want to close all my tabs because I don't want to screenshot everything and the weather. Ugh.
Much SpongeBob catastrophizes over a small assignment that ultimately gets canceled anyway. If that isn't a brilliantly relatable.
And you remember the episode, Mia? If I remember correctly, this was the only episode the grandma was in. Mark, you got a point. This was the only episode, and not to mention, I can't see Mia Lawrence profile pictures. I can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I want to show my face. It might work better. Okay, now I can. Yeah, this was the only episode. The Crab Borg.
I have so much fun with this episode. Killer robots taking over the world and SpongeBob Spears successfully.
You know what? I'm just gonna do something random here. Hold on.
We're not used to Squidward being in on the stupidity like this. It's a blast of an episode from start to finish, and this is the type of silly shit that makes you laugh as a kid.
Well, thank you, Chloe. That means a lot. Yeah, tell me about it, Francis. You're good. Oh, Shanghai. I love that episode. I thought Shanghai when I was Eric's age. I thought they meant Shanghai. But, you know.
This is by far the best Dutchman episode. It's like 15 minutes, but it's.
I'm not gonna. Don't worry. Honestly, I just wanted to share that. That's to test it.
Powerful and scary, and that he in fact holds.
You had this episode, Purple?
But despite that, he is not immune to a constant stream of impediments to his simple goal of scaring people. Because SpongeBob and Patrick are too fucking naive and annoying, and they're just bad at it and can't do it right.
Those guys are dorks.
Yes, but they're mine.
They are dorks. You're good.
We are not the immediate recipients of the annoying. Flying Dutchman is, once again. And because that, the stupidity means something. It means that he can't get his way working with these two barnacle heads. And that's a funny predicament because he should be able to get his way in simply scaring people.
Richard, I'm surprised you haven't seen SpongeBob because I know they have it in your country.
Actually powerful he is. He literally can send people to hell. If this scene were just them being annoying for the sake of them being annoying and not for the sake of impeding on the Flying Dutchman's goals, then it doesn't mean anything. And they're just being annoying to us. And the expectation that that in itself is enough for us, that is the entertainment, once again, is an insult to our intelligence. Yeah, this episode's really, really great.
Oh, Survival of the Idiots? Good episode.
Great Sandy episode.
Who you calling Pinhead?
Classics makes me realize how well Sandy is utilized as a portal to the human world, the familiar land world that we know while we're learning about all these sea creatures. When they're locked inside the freezing cold winter with the hibernating Sandy.
Wait, I'll just speed this up a bit. I want to see what's at a higher. Yeah, Frankendoodle's like the A tier. Just one bite is an okay. So we're in the S tier. Okay, I feel bad skipping around. Plus, these ads are really long. Who are you calling, Penny? Oh my gosh. Wait, Dumbo, that was your favorite? I think that video that I did about that white deep Southern American stereotype. No wonder a lot of Southerners like that episode. Oh my gosh. Especially when Sandy, says something about flapjacks. Yep, she's a Southerner. Oh my gosh. The way she talks in her sleep. Maddie, to be honest with you, Frankendoodle. And this is gonna be a little bit weird. I think Frankendoodle's hot. I don't know why. When I was Eric's age, I had a crush on Frankendoodle. I don't know why. I do not know why. Well, a little of a crush. I have no idea why though. Oh, Doug, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Best
And
episodes.
it goes without saying, I can and will and do go out of my way to put these episodes on all the time.
Oh, welcome to the Chum Bucket.
To me, this is the greatest of the Plankton episodes. Instead of stealing the Krabby Patty formula, Plankton cashes in on a multi-year-long hustling scheme in which he was throwing card games with Mr. Krabs with a long-term end-game goal of getting him to bet SpongeBob's contract so he can steal him as an employee.
The science calendar.
It's really heartbreaking to see Sponge and Krabs get split up.
Me too, Francis. Welcome to the Chum Bucket, right, Jaden?
Place that you didn't ask to be in, but not like to still be in. And the looming threat of Plankton extracting SpongeBob's brain and putting it in a robot if he does not comply is creative and scary. This song is one of the most legendary moments in this series and is genuinely enjoyable to listen to. You can tell they put some real heart into it. Mr. Krabs comes with the hypes. This is such a baller episode. Once again, SpongeBob being stupid and annoying is used cleverly here because when he refuses to make the Krabby Patty, Plankton does fulfill on his threat and he does put SpongeBob's brain in the robot. Holy shit. But his stubbornness...
The thing is, though, how was SpongeBob still alive if Plankton took his brain? You remember this episode, Dumbo? Really? Huh. It's supposed to be when SpongeBob was forced to work at a Chum Bucket, right? Because Mr. Krabs did a deal. He bid SpongeBob, right? For the Krabby Patty formula. So to speak, that's what happened. Lucas, same here, because the way that Plankton treated SpongeBob, yeah.
So this persists. It is deeply embedded into his brain, perhaps into his soul. They take the brain out of the sponge, but you can't take the sponge out of the brain. Great fucking episode.
Oh, that's a classic.
Right, we are now in the top 25, and Sailor Mouth absolutely belongs in it. This is an insanely classic episode. What a brilliant way of making an episode that's about cursing without making an episode with cursing. I've always loved this since I was a kid. And
don't you see this, what's Isabella? All right, Malik.
Super, super funny. It's just such a brilliant storytelling device. The noises themselves are...
the escalators.
Able to fill in the blanks of what they might be saying is hilarious. It's like a 10 out of 10 concept with like 9 out of 10 execution. This episode is dynamite.
I'm walking.
Oh, your shoes untied? I don't know how to tie my shoes.
The shoe tying episode that came out at the age we were learning how to tie our shoes. I knew this was iconic as fuck, but I was curious, how much does the humor and enjoyability hold up? Well, actually, a lot more than I expected. The amount of juice they get out of this simple concept,
Shelby, absolutely.
And not knowing how to tie them is insanely good. One of the most memorable episodes and songs in the series, too.
I don't know how to tie my shoes, though.
Joy every time. The poop loop, Gary saved the day is an insane twist. I have no doubt that anybody that grew up watching SpongeBob remembers this episode, and I would still highly recommend a rewatch. I think it does, in fact, hold up and exceeds my expectations.
I think we're on the road.
Oh, Rock Bottom. Yeah, that's a classic.
This is great stuff.
Really, Jaden? Well, high five.
It's only 23, but for me, that's just because the enjoyability is a little bit lower than the iconic factor for this one. The way that it wins, the way that it's in the top 25, is by being a remarkably iconic and important concept.
Is it your top 10, Maddie?
At rock bottom. They literally created an embodiment of the feeling of being at rock bottom by making it a place. I think it's fantastic.
Fun.
Perhaps not.
Classic.
Buddy,
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Easily one of the most iconic episodes of SpongeBob, one of the classics. SpongeBob's mission to see through it all, to see through Plankton's attempts to get a Krabby Patty, and to believe that what he really needs is just to have one friend. And I'd say watching it start to finish actually holds really, really well too. The way Plankton genuinely is starting to have fun with SpongeBob too is an incredible character arc for him too, and it's a testament to the power of SpongeBob's worldview. And how powerful and convincing this guy is. He's like doing a Naruto talk no jutsu to these guys. Like all the episodes in S tier, this episode is jam-packed. And the genuinely heartbreaking ending to this is crazy.
Sandy's Rocket, classic.
This one is just
Wait,
fun.
really, Myra?
This is what I'm talking about.
What about a sarcastic Brian? And I actually never saw this episode. Really, Jenny, it's good.
So much science gadgets and fun stuff to explore, and it really differentiates the importance that Sandy treats her work with in contrast to SpongeBob's all fun and games attitude. And man, I would have thought that they would have took off into space way earlier in the episode, but we're 5 minutes in, which is almost halfway, and we're still playing around with stuff. I'm not saying this as a critique. I'm saying it's impressive how much explored we do at the beginning, and then their whole complete misperception that they went to an identical world on the moon in which they're alien hunting is a really good concept that you can tell they had a lot
What
of fun
is
playing
that?
around with. Yeah, this is Prime SpongeBob, S tier as fuck.
Oh, the squeaky boots, classic.
Very much enjoying Mr. Krabs' 2 separate freak-out sequences. Technically, it's a triple-decker when you count the
You heard
second
that one,
but
Lord?
They really conveyed this feeling.
So
of
you,
having
so you like
that
Sandy's Rocket?
Actually, really enticed pretty much the whole episode. I can totally understand someone being annoyed by all the squeaking noises because it gets thoroughly embedded into the plot. But if you can tolerate it for 11 minutes, I think it's a lot of fun. It's like when you get into listening to Danny Brown, and his voice is weird at first, but then it grows on you and you want to hear more and more of it. And the fact that SpongeBob blames himself, thinking that he lost the boots, is crazy and plays a lot into Krabs' guilt. He's just going to let SpongeBob keep believing this. By the third freakout sequence, they are popping off. Yeah, they were really cooking.
You see this one, Eric? Yeah, it's one of my
And
favorites.
this isn't even halfway into season 1. It actually didn't even take them that long to get going.
I've got to tell someone about this.
The Jellyfish Hunter.
Hey, all you people. Hey, all you people.
This is by far the best jellyfishing episode. Blue jellyfish. No
I gotta
ending.
say this, after seeing this episode, it makes me want to try out if chicken nuggets and jelly go together. I don't think it would go together though. I wonder if it does. Because they don't. Wait, yet again though, we do eat meat, right? Because come to think of it, when you go to McDonald's, when you get a sausage biscuit, you are putting jelly in it. I might try it. I don't know though. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
One uncatchable jellyfish for SpongeBob. The jellyfish jelly being a delicious addition to a Krabby Patty. Mr. Krabs capitalizing on the lightning in the bottle moment of the jelly. And No Name kidnapping SpongeBob to show him the ugly truth of Mr. Krabs' operation.
Seeing someone win at capitalism is fucked because it leaves us asking, are we playing the right game?
Highly rewatchable, relevant, and important. Great episode. That's why it's
Wait, who was that?
operation.
Seeing someone win at
Burr Burnham versus Jeff Bezos? Huh. I don't know who Burr Burnham is.
Here's the best episodes. It's the best jellyfishing episodes, like the best Sandy episode, best depression episode, best Plankton episodes.
Darn, I wish I had a buddy to play
Oh
with.
boy, not that one.
I'll make one.
Yeah, this one has always been a classic, and rewatching it, it is still jam-packed and makes you wonder how they do so much in 11 minutes. Yeah, great
Danny, yeah, they are. Come to think of it, and I used to think jellyfish were not a real fish. I thought it was only a thing for SpongeBob, right? Purple.
good execution, nothing else to say. One of the best episodes of SpongeBob.
Oh, atmosphere. Patty
I love
hype.
the moral and the meaning just as much as I love the jokes and watching it. SpongeBob literally gets the Krusty Krab in this episode. My favorite thing about this episode is the fact that SpongeBob, despite
Hey, is that purple? Purple is my favorite color. I love that. You were making 25, Brian?
listens to his inner voice, that he knows this is a good idea, that he brings his vision into the world as a reality. This episode is a dream come true. Again, an epic win of tremendous proportions by getting the Krusty Krab at the end. One of the best episodes of SpongeBob.
Put my windows back.
No problem,
Squidville. I love that those
If the paper was the level 1
face.
example, Snowball Effect was better than that, so it's level 2. And if you count just one bite in this list, which I guess you could, then that's level 3. And then I would make this level 4. And this is because of how they elicit this transformation out of Squidward. When you want your character to be pushed and stretched to change their point of view, how do you get them to do that? Do you have them get proven wrong by people who've been telling them the whole time and then admit it? Hell no. People hate it.
Purple, I can
They
tell.
avoid admitting they're wrong to the ends of the earth. People hate it.
You write that
A much
top
more
10,
effective
Violet?
way of getting them to authentically and organically have a change of heart come out and bring it out into the world is take someone who's, let's say, uptight, like Squidward, learning to embrace spontaneity and
Gross.
fun. You don't put them with spontaneous and fun people who are telling them that that's the way. That'll just push them farther in the opposite direction. But what you do is you put them in a group of people that are uptight like him. No, even more uptight than him. Now that is interesting because where he can draw the line of how uptight is too uptight for him. And being around these schmucks, it makes him want to be more fun, bring more of that into his life to make up for the lack of it that they're not bringing to the table. It's brilliant. It's such a classic episode. I think the ending is just perfect. Fantastic stuff.
68 years old and I
Classic.
Your pipsqueak is getting cold.
That's number 2, right?
Beat this old man.
Ew. The Mermaid Man Barnacle. It's when Barnacle Boy becomes evil, even though evil. They play that dramatic music, even though he's so bad at it. I love that episode. Oh boy, I'm sorry, going so fast. Platters. And your favorite character is Squidward TWD. Mine is Mr. Krabs. Ooh, was that a guy in his undies? That was nice. In a way, I'm sorry. What ad was that? I wish I could see that again. In a way, you missed the voice acting, right? Wait. Oh, that's right. The voice acting for Mermaid Man. Yeah, I'm not surprised because of old age.
Plankton episodes, the best Sandy episodes, the best jellyfishing episode, and now the best Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode. For sure. Of course, this is the best Mermaid Man and Barnacle
The
Boy
dark
episode.
side.
I mean, what greater ultimate villain than the ones we've
And
already
Danny, yeah,
established, led
he
by
did.
Barnacle Boy himself switching to the dark side. And what better call to action
I
than
forgot
to
when.
the Avengers of Bikini Bottom, led by Mermaid Man, the IJLSA. This is such a fun episode. It's more than just a Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode because you get the whole cast involved. Great concept, great execution. It's so much fun every time.
In all the museums.
Oh, Artist Unknown.
Dude, you're teaching art at the rec center. Calm down. This episode is a brilliant commentary on
I'm
art.
telling you, okay, I'll love this episode because it goes to show you, like, since we're like, how gotta explain this, right? It goes to show you that if you want to be an artist, you can be, but you don't need to be a professional artist to be an artist. Just like how I cannot do art, even though they're traced, right? People still find it as art. And when Squidward wants to train SpongeBob to draw a circle, he can't draw the same circle because each drawing that you do is different than the next. They may be identical, but they're not the same. If that makes sense. You know, like how we were watching cartoons, right? Every movement, unless they are frozen, isn't the same. If that actually makes sense. You never see this episode, Eric? It's really good. Here, I'll
S tier. Squidward and SpongeBob's interactions are so good and important.
I bet you Band Geeks will be number 1.
Book discipline stamps out SpongeBob's intuitive creative genius. And this is so great because it's highly enjoyable to rewatch and so much meaning can be derived from it. Bold and brash is goated. Great episode.
Oh, Lord, belongs in the tribes. Ah, even one brown.
Wet painters?
The enjoyability is sky high with this one. I had this one on DVD as a kid and I remember feeling like it was one of the funniest episodes, and all this time later I still feel the same way. It's pretty much constantly engaging and entertaining. The threat of Mr. Krabs.
I love that
getting rid of them,
episode.
putting paint on his stuff and removing their butts as a result to mount them on his wall is both scary and hilarious. Yeah, they just knocked this one out of the park. It's funny as fuck. That's why it's hard to spot near the top. of
Right,
that
right, Sasha? Is it our favorite yours, Dumbbell? Oh, the worm?
This is the best Sandy episode to me. The A-plot of SpongeBob and Sandy's adventure versus
The way the tub blinks is
the
cute.
B-plot of Patrick and the rest of Bikini Bottom pushing the city somewhere else is insanely good. And the way that those A and B plots come together at the end is beautiful, despite how unimaginably tragic it would be to exist in that universe any longer than the episode takes us there. I think my favorite thing that Mr. Krabs has ever said is in this episode.
No!
Yeah, I knew Haley would like it.
You'll never get a cent out of me! I'd rather that word come in here right now! I need you all alive!
Why is he foaming?
He realized that he just literally freaked out in front of everyone and told him his deepest inner thoughts, and they're all just staring at him. He starts crying. It's an insanely classic episode. Still holds up. That's why it's second best in S tier.
Oh, Squiz, have you finished those errands?
This is the greatest mental breakdown in the series. I started to find this episode fascinating beyond just being the Aaron's episode when I realized that the entire conflict is all in Squidward's head.
I have no
never were any
idea.
problems to begin with. Me seeing
Violet.
Squidward's overthinking and worrying, catastrophizing.
You love the war episode so
caused him
bad?
to experience as much challenge and conflict and trauma as like a real villain episode would, or a real adventure journey conflict would. Knowing it's all just in his head, there never are any problems in the first place. That really communicates to me how much unneeded, unnecessary suffering is that we know is there, but it wasn't really put into the spotlight until I could see it in someone else like this. All right. Either you skip to the end to see if I even know what I'm talking about before you watch this whole video.
It's top 15,
or
Lucas.
you just finished watching everything at the beginning up until now. You are near completion of the full worst to best journey because we are now in double S tier. These are so great that I consider them beyond just the best of SpongeBob. I think these are the goated episodes of SpongeBob, the greatest of all time. This is no game, folks. This is my genuine top 10 episodes of SpongeBob because rewatching them over 20 years later, I still get a significant amount of enjoyment out of them. I think
Right,
these are
Doug?
all fantastic concepts with fantastic execution. I am often both emotionally and intellectually stimulated watching these episodes. I would go out of my way to put them on for myself or others, and will continue to look to them for inspiration for the rest of my life as a creative as well. And of course, these are all so good, we're splitting hairs at this point. I could easily respect a top 10 list that had these same top 10, reoriented, rearranged different way or whatever. But after sitting on it
I
for
think
a long
Ben
time,
geeks,
I feel
Daniel.
good about where I have these ranked for my taste. Here we go.
God.
Oh, these aren't homemade. They were made in a factory.
Yep, dying for pie.
They're bombs.
I gotta
There are
say
no
that
two
when I
ways about
watched that episode, I cried. When I was Eric's age, I broke down. Also, YouTube, it'd be nice if you could basically repair the like glitch. Unless it's this stupid Apple. Anyway,
Dying for Pie is just straight up an excellent
You know what?
episode of
Also-
SpongeBob. Squidward says it best when he says,
You could never pay me enough to act brotherly towards that guy.
and when he's forced to, and
Pie
instead of
episode, right, Isabella?
courtesy and buying a gift, just buys a pie that's actually a bomb that he believes SpongeBob has eaten and it's going to kill him. The guilt exploration here is phenomenal. It's entertaining the whole
Right,
episode.
Sasha?
Squidward getting dragged along by SpongeBob all day and thinking he's such a good person for trying for one day after implanting a bomb in him.
I am such a good person.
And for him to be confronted with how much of a piece of shit he's been as SpongeBob, just flourishing one of the most central conflicts of the show between the two most important characters. And I think it's still pretty goddamn funny the whole way through too.
Let's see. No.
the camping episode. See, I'm a review
Alright,
song.
the camping episode is really, really special in the context of this video and fixing this list because it's the only episode to make it to the top 10 of both lists. Somehow, some way, despite season 4 dominating the kids' votes from 20 years ago, the camping episode was an instant classic and is recognized by both young and old as a goated
Right,
episode.
Maddie?
The sea bear in particular.
You agree
is
with
the
this,
best
Ben?
part of this, and I think almost anyone would tell tell you that.
So you think the
Campfire
pie one
songs are
was
also
number one?
Very, very memorable and fun. This is just what you think of when you think of like the best of SpongeBob.
We don't deliver. We don't deliver. But you do.
I think M. Lemon described it best in his SpongeBob days.
Squidward wants to quit. He doubts SpongeBob time and time again and even tries to sabotage the delivery at one point. This barnacle head gives SpongeBob such a brutal dose of reality that it completely shatters his naive, optimistic bubble. And we get a rare moment where SpongeBob is genuinely dejected. This prompts one of the most memorable scenes in the whole series when Squidward puts his cynicism aside and sticks up for his friend.
There's a high level of emotional significance to this episode because of the massive character arc that Squidward undergoes. And the journey that they embark upon is epic despite it being a neighborhood delivery.
Wait, hey, Alice's husband. It's going, so. What's going on? Yeah, what happened to Alice? Is she doing okay? We're just basically watching some or viewing the best SpongeBob episodes. What's going on? And I love this episode, but I know some people don't like it, right? Ow. I'm fine. I hit myself with a ruler. I just wish YouTube could fix this dumb. I hope everyone is typing in, because I know not everyone is typing in the comments here unless you're listening. Because I know YouTube is glitched up the same way that you see why the view count and the like count is like this, right? Maybe it's my MacBook. I don't know. Because I didn't have this problem before. Oh my goodness. Alice, I'm so sorry to hear that. Joseph, I don't think it did until now. Oh, Alice's husband. I feel awful to hear that. Thank you so much for telling all of us. And that's tragic. Oh boy. I hope it goes well for you both. Oh boy, because I know Daniel and his girlfriend had issues with something similar. I feel awful to hear that. I want to make sure everyone got the opportunity to read it. Hold on, I'm gonna microwave some chicken nuggets. All right, I'm back. I just a mind. I just wanted to eat some Honey Nut Cheerios instead. But I hope it goes well for her. Literally. Oh.
Easiest
That
WSG
episode?
of my life. I don't even have to think about it. This is for sure one of the best and most iconic
Thank you,
episodes of
Lord.
SpongeBob that holds up to this day. I think it's brilliant that this is the only episode that deals with these themes, that only has this feeling, this nature. You just need one. This whole show isn't about existentialism, but you just throw one in there because the people watching this are human beings, and we get lots of existential questions. And just making this one and putting it there, and we don't quite understand what it means yet. It just feels a little weird, and we know that something's there. And then the older you get, the more you get out.
Thank you,
And
Mason.
the minimal abstract representation of like nothingness or meaninglessness or placelessness or whatever you want to interpret this as is so beautifully simple and iconic. I think the concept of this is like 11 out of 10. And even though there really aren't that many jokes in this, I get so much enjoyment out of it.
How are you two making those noises? Well, that's easy.
Oh, the idiot box.
And
Imagination.
All right, and here we are. This to me is the crown jewel of Squidward finding fun and intuition and imagination. Squidville is level 4, and to me,
But you haven't seen that, Daniel?
the best of
It's
them.
really
And this
good. I'm glad
is
Wyatt
the
did.
literary device here. They did all of this without showing us.
Oh, you mean this
anything
one?
From any of the imagination. It is just the exterior shot of the box, with the implication that SpongeBob and Patrick are in there, and we get the sound effects. It's just the sound effects. So it forces you to use your imagination to connect the dots, to fill in the blanks. This is the peak of Squidward realizing fun, if you ask me. And now he's just tortured with the idea of how do those two work that thing? It's so fucking funny every time. I feel like the enjoyability. Is
It goes to show you, like, especially if you're in the spectrum, I'm like this. Everyone's brains are different for a reason, right? Because I'm that type of person that has a ton of imagination myself. So it's pretty relatable to me. You're ranking number 9, Joseph? Top 5. I mean, ah!
Make him feel good.
Hello? I love you. In the top 5, we of course have
Yes!
Chocolate with Nuts. As a kid, this dude's fiendish fixation with chocolate is one of the highlights of the episode, but as an adult, man, the multi-layered scamming that goes on with this guy in particular is a big highlight. The candy bar bags and candy bar bag carrying bags is genius. The young lady and Is Your Mother Home and her just being like a stick is an all-timer. SpongeBob and Patrick ultimately learning that they just have to lie to people in order to make money. It's hilarious and a funny commentary.
Uh-huh.
It's always a joy to come back to this episode. I believe most, if not all, people would put Chocolate with Nuts in their top 10. I put it in my top 5.
We Constitutions.
Oh.
We want to leave the stadium. I gotta get out of here. Too late.
The
Stupid!
Fraggle Games might have like the highest enjoyability. The Fraggle Games has just about the highest enjoyability that SpongeBob can get from me. Like from the moment this episode starts, it is going. This is one of those just jam-packed, start to finish, peak enjoyability the whole episode. And I bet you can name at least a couple moments without having to think too hard. I love all of the challenges. Grab Chumbucket, SpongeBob, and Patrick. This is what Karate Island wishes it was, as far as like us giving a shit about the challenges or about the fights. These are actually both aesthetically pleasing.
My name
and
is
for the
not
audience,
Wit!
meaningful. Conflict is meaningful to the characters. There's actually depth here, as well as the surface level aesthetics that support that depth.
Love episode.
I feel the same
The
way
Krusty
about
Krab
Krusty
video?
Krab training video as I do about the Fly Cook games, just slightly to a stronger extent. I think they were on fire with this episode. Again, from the moment it
Hoopla!
starts, they were
Hoopla!
cooking. Top 5 episode. The concept and execution are both 10 out of 10 here. Rewatch this episode. This is what we've been waiting for. This is why we're here. This is peak SpongeBob. I have no complaints. This is still such a fantastic episode. All the way down to the iconic moment all where they teach
Oh,
telling
son.
us the Krabby Patty formula at the end and it cuts out. God, incredible episode. It wholeheartedly deserves a top 5 spot.
We're with the pet hospital down the street, and I understand.
Oh, so close, Darren. You were close. Band Geeks. Oh, that was close.
A lot of people would put Band Geeks at number one. That indeed is a fair pick, a safe pick. The whole community rallying behind Squidward for no fucking reason, honestly. He doesn't even deserve their help, but they just literally decide to pretend that he's a good person so they can motivate themselves to help him. There's so many iconic scenes, the enjoyability is through the roof, and of course, the sweet victory song at the end, Squidward overcoming his arch nemesis Squilliam, the spiritual conclusion to this show with Squidward succeeding as an artist.
This moment
Right, Mason?
here is the true spiritual series finale of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Fantastic episode. I would totally respect someone putting at number one still, even though it's kind of a popular vote. I think the fan animated version of this is one of my favorites. Fan created SpongeBob things ever. I would respect you putting it at number one, but for me, top three.
Ah! Pickles!
There is. I don't.
Great choice.
I did not expect this, and you know what they say? You don't choose the episode chooses you. This resonates with me the strongest out of all the episodes of SpongeBob.
Ah,
Because
forget about
Bubble Bass
Pickles.
is an incredible villain. SpongeBob is able to overcome demigods like the Flying Dutchman and every other big bad in the show because he's so relentlessly positive and naive and annoying and oblivious. So he can overcome
That's
that.
true.
The greatest enemy to him that he can't overcome is someone who is so manipulative, far more manipulative.
Yeah, Pickles is number one.
Than Squidward is Bubble Bass, someone who is willing to not only lie but gaslight SpongeBob. Because when he comes in
excuse
and
me.
he challenges SpongeBob to make him his burger as the picky food critic that he is, SpongeBob actually does make it correctly. Bubble Bass hides the pickles under his tongue. Knowing that SpongeBob did succeed on the challenge, he still chooses to make him believe that he fucked up. I think this is one of the most evil and worst and manipulative things that you can do to someone, especially because it's intentional. That Bubble Bass is the most evil villain in the show. He may not be the most powerful, but he is the most evil. And this is the ultimate conflict for SpongeBob. This
That's
breaks
true.
him. And this is the episode that I think is about the identity crisis more than missing identity.
Ah,
where
Violet,
the
it
identity
is,
crisis
huh?
is that he just
It was the
left his
first one you
name
seen,
tag on
Haley?
his shirt. This is a real identity crisis. SpongeBob is the great fry cook of the Krusty Krab. Like, he's SpongeBob fucking SquarePants. He doesn't mess up these patties. And being challenged publicly by this ultimate food critic, Bubble Bass, and failing, and no longer being the guy that always gets it right, it brings out a significant amount of cognitive dissonance in how he sees himself as a person, and it destroys him. So SpongeBob is completely broken, and he's sent to mental hell. He doesn't know who he is anymore. He is so confused. He's broken, and Mr. Krabs comes to help him out as like the sensei. He doesn't learn any information that wasn't in his head before. You know, he knew all the ingredients after all. What SpongeBob has to grapple with and learn here is reasserting himself as a person. He has to choose to step back into life. This is the story about being broken. This is a story of redemption. The way that the community rallies behind him.
Hey, SpongeBob!
Hey, SpongeBob's back.
Brings a tear to my eye. SpongeBob stands his ground and reconfronts the dragon, reconfronts Bubble Bass, and this scene says, I know who I am. This scene says, I know what I'm about. With his newfound confidence, confronts Bubble Bass. He plays the same trick again, and SpongeBob knowing, no fucking way. I didn't fuck that up. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. Points out that Bubble Bass has been lying the whole time. He's outed as even a greater piece of shit than we already knew him to be, and SpongeBob is victorious. And this episode is that great conceptually.
He was, Ben. He was an ass for sure.
Funny parts of it as well.
Yeah, you missed
That's
watching
why
it, Mark?
Pickles is my rank one episode of SpongeBob.
That was a really good video. I know we didn't watch the whole thing, but I'd agree with Pickles being number one, though. It is funny because it is true, since Bubble Bass is a manipulator. I've had people that were like that to me. Oh, he did Jimmy Neutron? Because I sometimes don't even know who I am, right? Because the way I was treated. So it is pretty accurate, if that actually makes sense. Oh, he suffers from depression. Oh, sorry, I had to pass gas. I didn't knew that. Oh, I had to pass gas again. But yeah, his name is Lover One Rock. Right, Lauren? It's my pleasure. Right? I see the little cute sponge emoji. I deal with people who manipulated you to not knowing who you am, Paul, right? What's this? Let me take a look.
Really did. If we do get a proper diss track from Kendrick, it's going to be legendary.
We mean delayed gratification.
This is the story of how Drake and some others would indulge in instant gratification, looking good at first but ultimately losing, versus how Kendrick would invest in delayed gratification, appearing weak at first but ultimately winning enormously.
Wait, is this about like music artists that didn't do well at first, but they did later on?
And he sounds impassioned. Like right off the bat, he's saying three different things very concisely. He tells us that people are lying, he warns them to stop, he explains why. Which brings us to our first lesson, concision, for the quality of being concise. There's a common misconception that being concise means keeping things short, and that's not exactly true. Concision is about density of value. It means all killer filler. It's the opposite of adding meaningless fluff to pad word counts in your essays. It's cutting out everything that's not essential or impactful. For words are like sunbeams. They are stronger the more they are condensed. This is something that I would praise much of Kendrick's music for, but I think that he really epitomizes with this feature. Because like that is an extremely concise 1 minute verse. And for that length, it says it does so much.
You know, listen to the music, Haley.
To me about
and Maddie, the video is The Art of Delayed Gratification.
As he is in this verse, it's not so robotically airtight as to have no swagger in it. If you want, you can min-max how many words you squeeze into a verse, but it ends up sounding overly technical and robotic. This sounds stylish. He makes it sound easy.
Right.
And at this point, you might be wondering, where is all this aggression coming from? Wasn't his whole last album about choosing peace, like going through therapy? He answers that in one line. It is by being concise that when this verse first came out, Kendrick knew his message would be heard loud and clear. He didn't do anything but put it in the art. And he didn't even post about that art. It was a hidden feature. He knew that people were going to be listening to the future Metro Boomin album. He knew that when people heard his voice, it'd be exciting. And by making his verse concise, there's no way we could miss what he's saying. It's impossible to miss what he's saying. I think anybody who's good at writing will tell you need to practice taking out what is not essential. You need to remove clutter. This is why creative firms spend months working on ad placements that are only 15 or 30 seconds long. This is why copywriters work to get slogans down to as few words.
Very interesting. Just Do It by Nike's, Think Different of Apple, Adidas, Impossible's Nothing, It's Freaking Looking Good by KFC, American Ones on Donuts, Toyota, Let's Go Places, FedEx. Oh, that FedEx is a long one. When it absolutely positively has to be there overnight. I'm loving it, of course. Have It Your Way. For the ones who are not Americans, right? Walmart, Save Money, Live Better, BMW, The Ultimate Drumming Machine, MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard and L'Oreal purse because they're worth it. Interesting. Yeah, Paul, I know. They can be a little bit, yeah, because we have like they do change a lot over time, so I don't blame you for thinking that way. Even some us Americans would think that. And Eric, this is supposed to be about like some artists, like music, like rappers that weren't as popular at first, but they did get popular over time. Kind of like that, I think.
Concision promotes clarity. It promotes quality over quantity. About 25 seconds in, we get the first major call. For anyone who's not aware, briefly we'll give the context this deserves. Only a few months before, Drake and J. Cole came out with a song.
Yeah, listen to Rap TWD. Same here.
I like the song.
Oh yeah, Mason, I noticed the KFC. Well, I mean,
First of all, I'm a video guy, and my favorite video director of the younger generation, Tim Hazard, made it, and I think he did a fantastic job on it. That's why in one of my videos you see a quick shot of it. So there was a point in time where I was going to break down this music video. So this was a hype video, one that we would later learn Kendrick was allegedly asked to be a part of, and he denied.
Surprise, you wanted that feature request. You know that we got some shit to address.
So those two wanted to make it anyway, and Cole would still include this line about how.
Yeah, tell me about it, Mason.
But Drake would only refer to the two.
Just sucks.
And the video would show them being depicted playing two-player games. Like
You should listen to a lot of Rad Joe.
Now, do I think these guys were intentionally trying to push Kendrick out of the big three narrative with this imagery? Not really, no. Do I think Kendrick took it personally? Yes.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And then it became personal with me.
What the fuck, the big three? Nigga, it's just big me, nigga.
Sorry, I know Eric is here. I mean, it depends on the rapper, right? I do listen to some rap because I grew up with some of it. It depends, though. I just like to listen to the rap music today because, well, compared to Kendrick, right? They suck. They're terrible. It's always about sex. It's always about the bling. Well, okay, maybe, well, that one's okay. But it's always about sexualizing women, right? It gets, well, it depends. It depends, right? It gets a little bit tiring over time. So I see why a lot of people like Kendrick. Well, a lot of us Arizonans feel like him too, though. He's pretty good. There's one song that Slade told me that I did like from him now. Not to be cringe, just to see her for like 5 minutes, but Jolene, thank you for making this video. For some reason, this video caused me to have a massive breakthrough in my struggle to make art. For so long, I have a lot of people to convince me that art is for the consumption of others, but it's not. The framing of this whole video being about delayed versus instant gratification is absolutely genius. I don't want to be an artist that chases instant gratification. I want to make things that are meaningful. I want to look at my work at the end of my life and be satisfied with the ideas and conversations I've explored. Currently, I'm not doing that, and somehow this video made me realize that. Great job, dude, and thank you. And that's a woman, by the way. Well, at least, well, it says Anna, so this has to be a female. His video helps me break out of the mindset of doing things that just feel good in the moment instead of doing what will make me better, right? Oh, my queue's gonna restart. Oh, tired of that. Anyway, yes, Isabel, yes. Oh, I think, yeah, he got assassinated, right? Which is tragic. Yeah, he was around that long. I mean, I think I was a toddler when he died. Because I heard about him. My oldest brother, yeah, what the heck? Well, everyone, Aspect Gold is uploaded. And look, 3 minutes ago. Oh, Alice's husband, your name is Ivan. I love that name. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Ivan. Yeah, Lisa, that's sort of settable. And I'm also trying to remember an artist that was a popper, but I got popper, right? I'm trying to think of more of them too. I'm gonna play this break quick. Yep, Anna's a few a day. Yep, Joe said 3 minutes ago. What a coincidence. I'm not surprised. This is California for you. You know, like how they got some good rappers in that city.
She tries to rush through this.
Berkeley, that's the better side though. Oh, Pika Beats! Yay! He uploaded it. Oh, that's 1 hour long. Wait, did I watch it? I'll probably watch it during my own time. I love him. I do. Super Mario Eclipse. I gotta watch that later in the Starbucks. Guys, today I've been hearing about that. A woman holds her 2 daughters as she tries to rush them through the screaming crowd. Oh my goodness. I forget what this stands for. Antifa members that are screaming at every attendee who leaves tonight. What?
Crowd of masked Antifa members that are screaming at every attendee who leaves tonight's event. What is this? Is this crazy?
But yeah, credits to Asmongold. Wait, I'm gonna read the credits very quick. I mean, comments. As a Californian, it's a third world country. Kind of is. I don't care. It is a beautiful state, but at this part, this is third world. This is what anti-white and anti-American for 15 years get you. Uh-oh. By Alex. Francis, Shelby, I think you need to hear this. And Jerry, I'm at the airport going to Phoenix. I pass a gate and a fight is breaking out. I've never seen anything like it. I think to myself, I bet that's a flight to Cali. It was LAX, the Los Angeles airport. Oh boy. Wow. And this is why we keep talking about the state. Ah. So Berkeley is one of the cities in NorCal, right? Northern California. It is not too far from San Fran and Oakland. It's like the college city of, like, let's just say outside of San Fran. It's like in the same neighborhood, kind of.
There's more footage? Jesus. And where was this?
Berkeley.
Berkeley. Oh boy. Jesus. Think about how much of our tax money we have to put and invest into micromanaging these mentally ill retards every day. Look how much money it is. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, you didn't hear that word?
Why are they wearing masks? It's bad when ICE does it, right? Because they don't want to be identified. That's the reason why. Same with my ICE wears them. That's why people wear masks, so they don't get identified.
I don't get this.
That's what I would expect. Uh-huh.
This is stupid.
What the fuck?
Huh?
Who does this? Jesus.
You see why I don't like politics? You see why I don't like to be involved with this stuff? You see why I like to be my own little globe? This is too much. Shelby, Francis, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to think. Also, I don't think Jerry's here right now. So, Eric, you're close. Yes, you forgot the E. Okay, after the L, right, is an E, but you spelled it almost correctly. That's good, Eric. I know it's a little hard to spell.
Well, eventually right-wing people will start doing this to left-wing people too.
I don't know what this left, right, where the heck wing is.
People, they think that they are completely justified in doing this. And whenever this happens, this is really your viewer. Maybe it was. It sounds like something that I would say, to be fair. They need to call ICE on that crowd. Well, no, these are just random ass people, right? Can't
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, it's intimidation with the intent to terrorize. Is terrorism. They need to be arrested. Well, I don't know about that, but I think that it does say a lot if you need to have police there to protect people, because they would be violent if they had the opportunity to. In my opinion, like, I know this might sound kind of bad, but if I was the people running this, I would just simply let some violence occur, and then I would just arrest everybody that was doing it. That's what I would do. And like, you might say, oh yeah, but somebody might get hurt. Yeah, that's true, but it'll be for a greater good. It'll be for a greater good. Yeah, you got to arrest these people, because the only reason why they're not being violent is because the police are there that are stopping them from doing it.
Yep.
Okay? And that's it. That's why we need to be violent back. No, I agree with you about that. I think that if somebody is violent to you, you have every right to be violent back. You do. You have every right to be violent back. Like, if somebody hits you, you have the right to do whatever you want to them. Nobody should have to live in a world where they are violently abused. It doesn't matter what it is or anything like that. That was pretty violent. Well, yelling is different than actually touching, right? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. defend yourself. And yeah, it's that simple. It's the same thing happening in Texas. Do you think we're heading towards civil war? No, I
No.
don't think so. I think the handful of people that do this is really an underestimation. I think that most people that see this, you know, you have like a couple hundred people that come out for an event and you act like you're going to have a civil war. I don't really think that's the case at all. It's not, yeah, it's not even remotely close. Like a lot of these like really fringe extreme political
Right,
beliefs,
Haley?
this goes on both sides.
So like I mean I got pushed by someone on the bus once. It's whatever. And then some fat black woman did, and she must spit on me. I wanted to chase her down and, you know, assault her, but no offense to my women out there. That's different, right? Like, let her go, right? Yeah, it's not right what she did, but the thing is, though, people wonder why women get hurt so easily. Lucky for me, because the thing is, even they did something to me, it's really cruel. I'll feel awful because I can handle it. I even got punched in the forehead by a druggie, right? I'll feel awful if I did something to him because at least I'm the one that's surviving here, right? The funny thing is, I didn't got knocked out or anything. I just got hit. He was a strong puncher. Like I got hit by a brick, but I didn't feel anything. Well, I got trauma a little bit, but I just can't imagine myself. No matter how evil they are, like for me, it's different, right? Because I'm used to it. Right? It's not like it happens all the time. Yes, it does make it okay, but it will affect them later on. But I guess as long as they don't kill anyone, they should be forgiven, I guess. So I just had to share that. Right, Lisa? I'm surprised. Actually, I'm surprised you still remembered. Yeah, you got to fights like this before me, so I can't even imagine. Like, these are just incidents that happened to me. Like getting put, whatever, not like fighting. Right? That's different.
Common, but they're not enough to where it's like there's going to be an actual war fought over this. And also, really, the difference, we're never going to have another civil war because the military, unless the military gets divided, the difference between, so whenever you looked at, let me go ahead and explain why we're never going to have another civil war, okay? So this is the let's say the Revolutionary War, right?
Uh-huh.
So the Revolutionary War, let's say the red was the you know, that was the Americans. Actually, well, no, I guess actually that's probably a bad way to say it because the redcoats. Okay, so let's say the red was the British. Okay?
Right.
And then these are like, let's say power levels. Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a Revolutionary War, and this is the power level compared to like the British versus the Americans, right? So the British are stronger, but the Americans still have a reasonable force. Okay?
Right.
You can see that as well. And then you go and you look at, let's say, the Civil War. Okay, so the Civil War was about the same thing, where the Union obviously had different federal advantages that the Confederacy did not have, but the Confederacy still had a chance in winning. A civil war now, unless you have the fractured military, it would be like this.
Sorry, I love that music. Hold on.
It would be like this.
I love that background music he has. It's like ambient music.
It's not even remotely close.
Right.
The government has powers and weapons and tools and resources that people cannot
They did it,
even
Amelia?
dream of. You don't, there's never going to be another civil war. You can't fight the military.
That's true.
Yeah, they've got space lasers. They've got satellites orbiting the Earth that
Right.
can figure out where you are.
Right.
Like it would be over in like a week, if that. Yeah, everyone has guns or a man for himself. It doesn't matter. Everybody has guns. Do you really think that you having a gun is going to stop? Like, what do you think happens when a bunch of armed guys that are trained, and also they're not going to be breaking into a house just because you have a gun? Like, this doesn't mean that you're going to just somehow fight off, a trained military.
Right.
You're going to be done, man.
Right.
It doesn't work like that. Military doesn't shoot people. Of course they do. Absolutely they would. No, if we had a civil war, the military would be shooting people constantly.
Yes.
But you really think that? Oh well, no. It says that you're not supposed to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you hear it, Francis? I'm glad. You got good hearing. Wait, huh? Oh, wait, what did I been saying? I'm sorry. But yeah, his English is really good, I got to say. So pardon me, yes, my English is as good as my wife. No, yet, Ivan, your English is really good. And yes, pretty much. It's about what's going on here in America, in another state, right? And Eric, I know it's a little confusing. So what this man, right, is talking about is that here in the US, a long time ago, say a few centuries ago, right? A century is 100 years. Three, for example, right? So like over 300 years ago, we had, let's just say, a little war in our country, the North against the South, right? And I forgot how the South lost. Basically, the South have lost to the North, which is why the South doesn't have as much resources or as educated compared to the North. And I'm so sorry, Eric. I don't know that much about the Civil War myself. I should know because I'm an American. But it's basically when these a certain amount of sense.
Yeah, there would be factions, of course. I think that if a civil war broke out, the military would be shooting civilians instantaneously. It would not even take a day. It would not even take a day. The moment that you had civilians shooting at the military or doing anything to oppose them, they would start shooting them instantly.
Wait, did it happen? Wait, I forgot what year the Civil War happened. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, go stop at that. What are you going to do? Right? And they're not going to nuke American cities? Of course not. No, why would they use a nuke? Obviously not. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with these people. And let's see if I can find the UK Berkeley. And I'll see if there's any more videos of this. I don't really think that there's a whole lot more of them. So yeah, is there any more of these posts here? People crying. Oh hey, here we go. Okay. Oh damn!
Huh?
Look at him! Look at him go! What is he doing?
I don't know.
What is he doing? Oh my god!
It's
look at this guy. Oh fuck!
Oh, you didn't hear that?
Terrorism always maintains status quo in the country would be deemed expendable. Yeah, of course. You're underestimating the power of guerrilla warfare. I think that you're underestimating the power of technology. Oh, geez, yeah. I mean, again, I think they've got to be on top of these people a lot faster.
What the music?
Going full retard, yeah.
Oh, you didn't hear that?
Because the moment that you let this happen, oh, is this another one? Oh my god.
Wait, what about White Boy? Huh? I have no idea, Daniel. I'm trying to understand what's going on too. Oh, so Francis, it's 1861 to 1865. Thank you so much, video, for covering that for me. And TWD, pretty much.
It's going to be crazy whenever people start bringing guns to these things. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. People will eventually start bringing knives and guns to these events. And I think that the only place is like, I bet probably this kind of stuff will probably not happen as much in right to carry and concealed carry states.
I agree. We're one of them. We're one of them.
How technology helped in Afghanistan or Iraq? Well, it helped us stay there for 20 years. That way we could maximize the most efficient way for us and steal enough money from the taxpayers to reallocate it to the military-industrial complex and the amount of people that were there. Do you really think that we couldn't have won that war in like a year? Fuck no, of course we could. The reason why it happened is because we didn't try to win. We weren't trying to win the war. We were trying to win the hearts and the minds of the people. You're not going to win the hearts and the minds of the people whenever you're occupying.
Hopefully, son. Hopefully.
Bomb them and then leave.
Hopefully.
Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam's total thing. Yeah, it's the same thing in Vietnam. We were trying to help the South Vietnamese fight back against the North Vietnamese.
Wait, that's what happened?
Oh, God. Oh. Oh. People do this because they don't go to jail for it. That's the reason why it happens.
Hmm.
And I think that really, why you so against military industrial complex make it sound like such a waste of money. What I understand, it brings USA astronomical earnings. Yeah, we make a lot of money from the military, but we also spend a lot of money on the military, right? To
Right.
centipede. And also, it's because I don't know if I can really show the blood.
Oh, so that's why.
Yeah. Oh. See, the problem is like somebody like this should go to like in my opinion, I think you just put a person like this in jail for 10 years.
Right.
That's it. You just put them in jail for 10 years. And then the problem goes away. And I feel like the reason why this happens is that 15, yeah, sure. I mean, right? I mean, whatever you want to say, he'll be out the same day. Yeah. The reason why this happens is because people like this are able to do it and get away with it.
Right.
And if they knew that they were going to get shot,